It looks like we're all ready to begin. Can everybody please take their seats?
Your mic's not on. You're on mute.
How do you mute or not?
That's him, I think.
Yeah, power.
Oh, we turned it all the time.
Looks like I think you're too loud now. It looks like we're ready to start. Can everybody take their seats so we can begin, please? This is true. All right. I don't know what time it is, but welcome everybody to our July club meeting. We're going to go forward. So some of the dates that I want you to save are Saturday, July 23rd is going to be our pen workshop, which is going to be next Saturday here. Then the last Saturday in August 27th, will be a finial workshop that will be given by Matt Harbor. Then on Saturday, September 24th, we're going to have a texturing workshop here. It'll either be done by Ben or myself or both. Then on Saturday, October 8th, is going to be the Detroit Area Wood Turning Symposium, which will be at the church. It's an all-day event. Ron, can you, on this flash drive, there's an Acorn GIF. Can you get that displayed up there or not?
You are asking us a lot.
I know I am. So we have mentors for those of you that want to try to improve your skills. They are Chris Miller and Paul Zirkle, both of which are not here today. So you'll need to find them on the club officers list on the website and give them a call. Are there any announcements from the general body of the membership that wants to bring up anything? Okay. Oh yeah, let's start out by welcoming new members and guests. And I know there's a couple because they were introduced to me, but the names have gone completely south. I don't remember. I think those two back there are visiting. Oh, you're new members. Super. Let's see. Okay, welcome. Hey Larry, how are you? Welcome back. Okay. I've sent, yes,
Are
Bob.
we gonna start Zoom? We've got people watching.
I'm trying. I lost the camera for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Messing around with it.
Yeah, Ron is diligently trying to work on it.
Or quitting, either way.
If not, we need a volunteer for the audio visual. One of the meeting agenda items is a discussion on changing our meetings. We need to either increase the dues to cover the cost of the incurred expense of having employees come in and open the building for us here on Sundays, or we can change to Saturdays, leave our dues the same, have the meetings on Saturdays when the business is normally open, and it will not affect the out-of-pocket expenses. So I've had 6 people respond to me by email, and 5 of them were in favor of changing. 1 was not, and he didn't give a real good reason why he wasn't. So I opened the floor up for discussion as to, I want to hear your opinions on, do we change, do we stay, Do we increase dues? Do we not? What's your opinion, folks? This is our club, so I want to hear before the board votes and decides. But we're going to decide today whether we meet on Sunday or we meet on Saturday. Thomas? That's correct. Yes. Michelle?
Hand support one way or another.
We will at the end, yes. Michelle?
I think we prefer Saturday, but could be an earlier time so that we have the rest of the day, as opposed to right in the middle of the day and you don't have any time left. Say like at 10:30 or something.
That's not a bad idea. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Where's that handheld microphone? Could you take it to her, please?
Like the price is right.
Oh.
Okay, the question was, or is, if we move to Saturdays, can we change the time to earlier in the day so it's not in the middle of the day, breaking up the whole thing? I think that's a good idea so that we can talk about that also. Anybody else have anything they want to add to the discussion?
I've got one question. If we go to Saturday, using the back room in a busy business that's making money, are we gonna end up with several Saturdays that might be in conflict with the needs performance too?
I've been told that there's 2 Saturdays a year that we can't be here, and that's his demo days in the spring and the fall. Other than that, the business owner has told us that meeting here on Saturday will not disrupt his back room, activities, and the store will still be open for normal
Your mic just
sales.
went dead.
That's what I thought.
Did I do
No, that's the.
Did I do that?
You might have.
So we might be able to switch a Saturday if that occurred.
That's true, yes. So, and now Dennis and then Kathy.
My question is, how much parking do they usually use up during the retail hours, and looking at the parking lot, how it's full up now, will that likely fill up to where we can't have a place to park? There's some overflow parking.
Okay, Dennis' question was about parking, looking at, on Sunday we can use all of it, but on Saturday we can't use the front half up here. We have to park in the back. And I think there's also parking around the corner in the back that we're not utilizing at this point in time. So there is enough overflow parking to handle everybody bringing their own car and having a place to park. Yeah, Kathy.
I think we should bring promotional materials so that the people that are walking in the store and they see that something's going on, we can hand out the postcards and invite them to join us. We might pick up some new members.
Agreed, and we do have rat cards already on the counter by the register here, and we'll have more available. Roger, you got a question?
I do.
We don't hear you.
Green light on?
Is the green light on?
Hold the button until the green light's on.
Got it. My question is that
It went out again.
on a Saturday, we're in an aisle of Milwaukee, and Makita. I would think they're gonna get tired of coming back here and making a sale for $100 battery when we're having a meeting. It's gonna be a problem. We're meeting in an aisle in the stock room to begin with. I would like to propose that we look at going back to the church. Pay the money on the storage or look at other options.
That's an option. Going back to the church is an option. Alfred?
Yeah, I talked to Jason on Saturday. Actually, he is the one who offered that.
Just talk.
I talked to Jason and he was who offered Saturday. And he said, if you guys come here on Saturday, you will not be charged. And I also asked him, is there gonna be a problem conflicting with you? He said, no, there's no problem. So we had the okay from Jason for Saturday. Regarding the other stuff about moving, I don't know.
So it's turned off.
She told me just hold it.
Well, the battery's gone dead. Okay, one thing to bear in mind about the church is an option. So if we go back to the church, we lose our TV because there's no place to store it. We only have room for a lake.
And then we have to go back to storage.
Why don't we give the
Wait.
TV to the church and mount it for them? That's one thing that we had offered.
Right. Well, we can look at that. We can look at it.
You know, maybe they'll take it or allow us to do that if we give it.
What are you gonna do with the rest of the stuff?
Ollie,
One of the things that I think is very important coming forward with this club is our ability to educate and bring new members in and give them hands-on time. And if we go back to the church, we lose our ability to have workshops.
agreed. Greg?
Yeah, workshops were an ultimate luxury. Most clubs in this country don't have workshops. And to be able to have a workshop and all of that equipment is never gonna happen unless you get something like Pontiac or you rent a big building. And so you really would have been better when you cleaned it out to sell it all. Because your storage fees, you're gonna eat up what it would have cost you. So, you know, it's just like, if you have to save money, you do like we used to do. We did not have summer meetings, because many people were on vacation. No scholarships. You have to do a lot of things, because if you increase the dues, you're gonna lose people. So you gotta do things that cut down your cash flow.
Any other comments? Mike?
I think we should have it at the church for our monthly meetings and see if we can have a workshop here on Saturdays for those that want to come. I also understand that there is going to be a change in administration in Pontiac where we might be able to go back there. So it seems foolish to lock ourselves into a contract here when it may not be necessary.
You know, a great deal of the clubs have the same difficulty we do. But what they've done with their equipment is they have just the equipment for putting on a meeting. And they have it stored in a lockup trailer. Back it up, everything rolls in. Already half set up, all on wheels. They roll it off the trailer and then do a eating area. I mean, that's always an option, worst case scenario option, to avoid the storage fee. And I'm with Greg. We should sell some of that stuff.
Any other? Matt?
Yeah, I disagree. I think that building new membership and growing our membership is a critical factor to keeping the club. And I think that the workshops are intended for that. I know that every time I've helped in the workshop, that I've learned things from it. And sometimes I've turned things and learned things from them. I think that it helps build the camaraderie among the membership and helps encourage the people to come in and be a part of things and grow. And I think that they're an integral part of it. We're not a 20 member or 40 member club. We're larger than that. You know, that's something I think that we should actively work to provide, because I think it adds a lot to what the club does. And I never saw so much enthusiasm as when we were running 2 workshops a month between the meetings. There was full participation. There was never a lady that was rarely was there one lady that didn't have so much. And saw that in the meetings, people were trying things, but going back, they'll take it home, and do a forward at meetings. I think that it really helps everybody grow with the club and become better. It was a luxury. Well, I don't argue that it's a luxury, but the point is, we have the space. We have the machines. We don't have it here. We do. The machines are here. Actually, call me when
This is July, summer. We got 50 members here today.
Well, Jason has done a lot. Jason has done a lot.
All right, the discussion is for Saturday or Sunday, not whether we go to the church, whether we go to the PAC. So let's have a show of hands of those that want to continue to meet on Sunday. Those that would like to stay on Sunday, please raise your hand so that we can take account.
You need to say Andre,
Forget the dues. I just want a poll of how many people want to, stay on Sunday. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So do you guys agree with that count? How many would like to change to Saturday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's at least 20 plus. So majority has it that we're going to change to Saturday. Now, Michelle brought up a good point. Instead of having it 1:30 in the afternoon after church services, how about we think about having it earlier? Who's in favor of, I don't know, what time would you want? 10? 10? How about, and same time as the workshops? Who would like to meet at 10 a.m.? Who would like to meet at 1:30? Good for you, Matt.
Matt, they serve lunch at 9:30.
What time does the store open?
9. Store opens at 9. Am I correct? The store opens at 9 a.m. on Saturdays? Right. So we could get in at 9 to set up and we'd be ready at 10.
Well, maybe 10.
Yeah, 10:30. Okay. So it's been decided that we will change to Saturdays. The next meeting will be here on the 3rd Saturday of August. And I'll confirm with Jason that 10 or 10:30 is going to be the meeting time. Thank you. Oh yeah, we'll do that also. And we'll also contact the AAW to let them know that we've changed our meeting day. Mr. Treasurer, do you have a report for us?
I do.
Do you have a microphone?
I don't. I'll come back here so people can see me too. No, I can do this and I have a camera too. This works? It's working. Okay. All right. So for the year, we've taken in $3,195 and we've spent $3,972.16. So we are down about $700 for the year. As of right now, we have $13,880 in the bank.
Thank you.
I did bring a couple things back from Chattanooga. Can I talk real quick on that?
Go for it.
I brought this for the library. Somebody lost their book at Chattanooga, didn't put their name on it, so darn, our library gets one. I have 2 more at home if I can find them. There's a lot of cool stuff in here on the demonstrators and the projects they did in the how-to step-by-step instructions. And then I got this from Tim Yoder. This will go in the door prize. And it's a Tim Yoder speed center, 6-inch speed center. So you can center and go corner to corner. It's got holes in it. They're pretty cool. He makes them one smaller and one bigger. I want to make one funny comment about the AW. I met somebody who was a member and has never been to a meeting. They were at our meeting. They're a member here, but never been to one of our meetings. And he goes, yeah, it's just too far to drive to Pontiac. I said, but you drove to Chattanooga. And that's when he walked away, so. Yeah. Grosse Pointe Park.
Oh, you can't get this one.
So, yeah.
So you don't have a port, correct? Ron, you don't have a port to show that picture?
I don't, if I unplug something, I'm gonna die.
Okay, never mind. All right, I've been contacted by some administrative assistant of a credit union, and they're looking for somebody to make an acorn trophy for them. I have a JPEG that I can, but we can't display it because we'll unplug something. So is anybody interested in making a trophy for taking on a commission? If so, let me know and I'll send you all the information. I sent it to you. Did you get it?
You might want to describe it. It's, the acorn is probably about this big, okay? And it's got a carved leaf thing on the top of it, just so you know what the skill sets involved might be, so.
Yeah, and I was thinking that carved leaf is optional.
We had somebody in the club that used to make the big acorns. Don't know who it was.
Okay. So the next thing on the agenda is a talk on safety. And our safety chair has left us. We've got another couple people in mind, but they need to think about it some more. So we're going to fly this one solo. I was thinking that being that I'm using spray lacquer and, I'm using an air gun today, airbrush today. We need to talk about safety of your lungs while you're using this. Typically, when you're using this, you should be using, you should have good ventilation in your shop. You should also think about wearing a carbon filter, kind of those masks that they wear in the paint shops. Yeah, that's right, respirator, excuse me. A carbon filter, a carbon fiber respirator, so that it picks up those fumes. The filters that we use for our dust masks are not strong enough to stop the vapors and fumes getting to your lungs. So I'm not going to be using one today because you wouldn't be able to hear me if I had it on. But when I'm in my shop, I have it on. So you need to think about that for your own safety, because if you spray a bunch of different colors, later on that afternoon or evening, you go to blow your nose, it's multicolored. What does? I don't know what that is.
You clean out the sinuses.
You can,
Oh, the one where you go like this? Yeah.
yeah,
I
they've
got
got
it.
squeeze bottles that you can squeeze up in one nostril
Yeah,
and
that's
all
what
Ugh.
It's actually not that.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Okay.
It's better to have it in your nose.
Well, that's probably true. Okay, so now at this point, we're coming to the demo. And what I'm going to show you today is how to do a couple different textures. And then I'm going to do a birdhouse. So here, you want to take this and then pass it on? What I made up was just a little board with a bunch of different carving birds on it, showing the different textures that you can achieve. And you'll need to do one of those for yourself of what you have so that you can figure out what you're going to do. I use the triangular Mantha cutter, which is the one that's got the replaceable carbide cutters to do this. Can they see this on that?
Put it on the other camera.
Can you put it on the other camera, Ron?
From Nick Hagan.
Tailstock? Okay. So what I've done thus far is I took that triangular Mantha cutter, put it in put it in my microcarver and just, I just did the texturing.
What bit did you use for texturing on that?
I used the triangular Mampa with the replaceable carbide cutters. So what I did was I did the texturing. I then took my black my stain, I sprayed the whole thing black, then let that dry. Then I took my power sander and I sanded it off the high parts, leaving just the texture black. So now I don't want to turn with this thing on. I'm stuck.
Can you zoom in on that?
He doesn't zoom.
No.
I think we need to buy another camera that has the zoom.
Pass the plate.
We can do what? Pass the plate.
I can't move it anyway.
I'm gonna make it.
Next time we'll switch these two.
I keep thinking that.
Mark, we'll switch these two and this one can be moved.
Okay. You always, gloves are your friends, because I don't care how hard you try. I always get this stuff all over my hands. It does come off with denatured alcohol fairly easy, but that's another step in the process. And if you can just take the gloves off, that's great. You know, I never turned this thing on. How do you?
Yeah.
Pull it out.
No, push it down.
It's pulled.
Like that at the, speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I got, yeah, it says operator error.
What's new lately?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take,
Okay.
this is a two-stage airbrush. You push down, you get the air, you pull it back. See, I've already got stain on my fingers. Okay, not working real good?
Why should that be any different from most of
Yeah, that's true. I'm spraying straight on, but you can also spray, you know, sideways.
What kind of dyes are you using there?
This is Artisan.
Oh, the artisan, yeah.
This is Artisan, just a red dye.
You ever water down your dyes to get a more translucent look?
I have not, but I'm sure you can. Well, my red doesn't seem to be wanting to come out real good today. Okay, so that's the red. Now I'm going to take black. So what I want to do is I want to frame it in the black. So I'm going to just spray a little bit and ghost it. And same here. So that sort of, frames it. Now what we're going to do I'm going to use Chromacraft, the Chromacraft Chroma Gilt, the Egyptian gold. And when Nick Agar does it, he takes, because this is a size large, so he takes the next size smaller. So I stole some of my wife's gloves. This is a medium, because what he wants, or what you want, is you want it to be, the glove to be tight on your hand. But being this smaller, it's tougher to get on.
Mark, if you double layer them, which I do at present, you double layer it and just take one on, and then you have one back, you don't have to deal with trying to get one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help with my hands sweaty at this point in time. Probably. So anyway, so now what we do is you take some and you just get a little bead, you put it between your finger and your thumb, you rub it around. And then what you want to do, so I'll move it this way, is you want to put in, just on the highlights, in a circular motion.
Yeah, showing good on the screen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there you go.
So you just keep doing this till you get all the way around. And you can go back and make multiple coats if you want. You get it the thickness that you want. Just sort of go around in little circles. And this stuff ultimately dries. And I typically then turn around, and after it's cured for a little while, I'll spray some lacquer over it. So do you want me to see? Do you want me to continue this, or do you understand the process? Okay.
How long does it normally take to go through this process?
An hour or so, I think.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, any idea how much that tube costs of the Gilcrease?
$7.95, $8.
Okay.
And you can get them from Packard Woodworks. You can get them from Chromacraft themselves. And I think they're sold a few other places.
Here, want to take it around? Want me to show that around, Mark?
Sure. Where is the board? I need the no, you keep passing. I just need one. I got this replaceable cutter. I bought this from MDI Woodcraft, or Wood Carving rather. But you can also get them from King Arthur Tools. And I believe you can also, I think you can get them on Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure. Pardon me? Yeah, these are replaceable carbides. Who asked, somebody asked a question? This is the Mampa round triangular cutter on a 1/8 inch shaft. They also have it on a 1/4 inch shaft.
Amazon's out of stock.
Okay.
I bought some this week, so.
So you'll bring them to the next meeting then, right?
Correct.
Slight markup.
Pardon me? These were 53, 56, something like that. They're not cheap, but they're good. And you can replace the cutters. Can everybody see this? Or do I need to move it? Is that where it needs to be? What? Overhead camera, please.
Now move it back toward you. Oh, it is at the monitor. Move it back toward you.
So on this, which way? Is that where you want it?
Yeah, here.
Okay. So with this is a Master Carver Micro Pro. I got this from Packer Woodworks, and it was
$100.
$199, just under $200, if I recall.
What, 100?
No, I think you're,
I must be dreaming.
yeah, yeah.
I wish. No, they were two.
So I've started this pattern already, and I'm gonna just now continue it. So you can go forward and reverse. I'm going in the forward direction. Turn it on.
How fast? What's the RPM?
I'm gonna run the RPMs about 2,500 or 25,000 rather. And what I'm gonna be doing is just a circular motion overlapping the other texture.
Hey, Mark, when you said you're doing it on the other texture, what's the other texture you had below that? You have a texture underneath that?
No, this is the I just pre-did it, so I wasn't standing here.
Oh,
For
you're
hours.
doing it all with the same
I'm
tool
doing it all with this. This is all the same tool, and that circular motion
going
is
around.
going around.
Yeah.
So if you have one of these little Merlins, you can put this yellow brush on it. And what it does is it cleans up, it goes in and cleans up all the little fuzzy. So now what we're gonna do is there is a table, there is a bowl back that I did this texture on with the purple, the amethyst, but I want to do it with a different color. I want to use sapphire blue this time around.
So that's gonna be straight on the wood with no sealer underneath?
Correct. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my toothbrush, I use toothbrush, you know, put on like I was gonna do my teeth. Yeah, no, this is not my wife's toothbrush. So can everybody see this? So all you do is you just, this is really simple.
So you're applying it pretty heavy there, right?
Oh, I'm very heavy. This is much heavier than the when I was doing it between my fingers for the gold.
I'm disappointed you didn't use electric toothbrush.
You probably could have if you had one, but I don't, so. So it goes relatively fast. And you just keep doing it until it's, you got an even color all the way around.
Hey, Mark, I see that you have some tape over there. Is that because that piece is already finished where the green tape is?
Yeah, when I made this bowl, the reason the tape is here, because I made myself a little bead that I wanna try to keep clean. That's why there's a bead here all the way around. And I was trying to cover it up with the tape to see it, and we'll find out if it worked or not when I take it apart later. But this is how this is how easy this one is. And you just keep doing it around till you get the even color that you want. And then you probably could put in some highlights if you wanted. You could then take the gold or the silver and just, hit the tops of the ridges if you chose, if you wanted to do that. It's another option. So that's this
Show
one,
it to the camera. Yeah.
this camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good. That looks nice.
So obviously you have to clean the edge up, but you could, yes. Yeah, you could dry brush the top of that to get your ridges.
It almost looks metallic.
Pardon me?
It almost looks metallic.
Almost, yes.
Is it metallic or?
Yeah, they got some resins in there. And they also have some different kinds that they have some other of these chromacrafts. These are like $20 or thereabouts. And they have some more that are chromatic that change colors depending on, but those are like 25.
So that's $20 per tube.
Yep, it's not cheap.
Expensive. My birthday is coming up. You want me to move over there?
This thing's a pain in the butt.
That's gonna stand here.
Where's,
Oh, it's in your pocket.
it's in my pocket, that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So now what I want to do is I want to take this off. I'm getting ahead of myself. And I'm doing things in the wrong order.
What do you need?
I need to knock out one. And I need to put the chuck back on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn a birdhouse, and it's gonna be between centers. So what I've done thus far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this part of the birdhouse out of this spalted maple that I got from Chuck. And what I've done thus far is I've drilled an 1.5 inch hole from the top, an 1 inch hole from the side, and like a 3/16 hole for the perch. I'm going to mount this like that. The reason that I'm putting this little piece of wood here is so that the point doesn't dig into the bottom of the birdhouse, because at that point, you know, you probably should sign your work. So this is just going to be held on with friction drive. I keep forgetting that all my bigger tool rests don't typically work on this one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rough this down to a cylinder and then start turning the birdhouse itself. Well, I don't have it turned quite to center, you know, round yet, so we'll keep going. I can do the same thing with the skew. I want to cut at a 45-degree angle. I want to make sure that when I'm placing the tool on the wood, that is on the bottom half of the tool, so that it's supported. And this is called a peeling cut. You want to present it, you can go backwards and forwards. Well, that's what happens when you get careless. But that's okay, because that's going to go away. Okay, so that's nice and smooth. Now we can start. We can start refining the shape. And I'm going to use. Okay, that's the skew that I'm using is a German skew that's made by Crown Tool, and it's a Colin Way signature tool. It's a lot thinner and lighter than the standard tools that we're used to. Once you get used to it, it's really a nice tool. I have two of them. I have a 1/2 inch and a 1 inch, and I really like these tools a lot. Need to lower the tool rust a little bit now that I'm using my spindle gouge. I'm not doing something right. So the hole is drilled to about here, so I can bring this taper up more without running into that hole. Gonna turn away. And I'm not an expert at spindle turning, but I'm trying. So I can see that I got a little bit to clean up right here. Add a small skew. So what I'm doing is I'm creating an area that I'm going to turn around and now texture. So what I have is I have a Wagner knurling tool, texturing tool. I have the small Sorby spiraling texturing tool, and I have two of the larger Sorbys with different cutters on them. And I'll be using those to do the texturing. And we turn it down to about 400 or 500. So I want to present this. And really what I'm doing, I'm not cutting textures, I'm indenting into the existing, I'm indenting the texture into the wood. Pretty much flat, so it's, yes. So I'm presenting it so that it's like 90 degrees to this slope. And I'm presenting it pretty much on center. And I'm just pushing it in, holding it 5 or 10 seconds, and then moving to the next one. And being that this isn't wide enough to do the whole thing, you can put in the first texture, then you move it over so that the edge of the knurling wheel catches the last of the previous texture, and you do it lightly and it gets itself in the same grooves, and then you push it in so that you can make a wider knurled area. So now I'm going to try taking this tool, and I want to come in right here on this edge. So I'm going to come in like this. So I've made some indentions right there. Now we'll take this bigger one and we'll present it this way. I can raise this up a little higher speed. Now I'm going to change the angle so I'll get a different texture out of it. Change the angle again, get a different texture. Now I'm going to use the pointed one, and I'm going to put it right in here, and I should get a different texture. And so I've textured this right there. So now if I want to, I could also use my point tool to differentiate between the different textures. So it's right there. Let's see if I do one right here, like this. Brush somewhere. Look at this. So you can either use shavings to burnish this off, or you can use, brass brush, because the texturing does sometimes leave fuzzies. Yeah, plastic brush might melt. So I'm also going to come up here and put a little bit of texturing right here at the top. So that gives us 3 or 4 different textures. So now at this point, now we're back to airbrushing. And because I'm so sloppy, I'm getting more gloves on.
Yeah.
So we're going to start out with yellow. Now I want to just put in some yellow here. Oh, now you're not going to work? Oh, there you go. And now I want to go with orange. Oh, come on, you worked yesterday. You're not going to work today, huh? No, these are Mastercraft, but when you don't, I guess I should have cleaned them all last night. Well, how about red?
Hey, Mark,
Yes.
you put your finger on the front, it blows it back out, and usually cleans it.
All right. Thank you.
Blow into the end.
So try it on your tongue. There you go.
So let's see if we can get the orange to work. No, it still didn't want to come out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try it a few times.
Clean the tips like that. What do you do with it?
Put alcohol in there.
Yeah, you can run alcohol through. You can also take take this out, and there's a long pin that you can pull out and clean. Well, let's see if purple works. Don't know about this. No?
Good.
There you go. Well, I messed that one up, but that's the way it goes.
Kind of standing on hose. Whatever doesn't mean the hospital.
So are you trying to paint on the previous paint or next to it? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a graduated effect. So I painted the yellow from here to there. Then I started, then I'm trying to fade in, and so I get a graduated change.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna put in the black, which is going to be here and there.
On the hose again.
So now, depending on how close you get the tip of the airbrush to the work, that defines how wide it's going to be spraying. So if you get really close, you can get right up to a feature and then, but not totally cover it.
Well, that one works.
So now what we're going to do is, at this point, I've got some sealer somewhere, I think. Guess I don't.
What's that here?
This is a clear sealer that if you don't want the, Nick Agar suggests that you seal your stain before you put the Chromacraft gilt on it, so that the two don't, interact. I didn't do that the first time.
Is that something you get from him, or what is it?
Yeah, you could probably do the same thing with a lacquer or with,
And the sealer.
any sealer would probably be fine. And you just put on a little bit.
You're putting that on where the texture is, right?
That's right. I just put it on where the black was. And now we'll go in and I'm going to use silver this time. Are you on the overhead or one of this that they can see this? Okay.
Rubbing that in or gently?
I'm just gently applying it to the surface. I don't want the color to go into the texture.
Mark, it's coming out for you.
Well, I guess I should not. I guess I've wasted a bunch.
Yeah, you squeeze. That came out nice.
So I'm going to do the same thing up here, but I'm just going to go back and forth because I don't want to. I'm trying to keep it off of there. Now, if I had some paper towel, I would clean up this little sloppy area where I got it on, but I don't, so I won't. So at this point, we're finished with this portion of it. Pardon me? Right, it's an additional feature.
So you guys know what's doing the metallizing, top there, he's got a very thin skin on his finger. Just the top of the texture, trying very hard to find it handy.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the top, the lid, and this is a 2.5 by 2.5 inch block. And I'm just going to use it between step centers. This one would have worked just fine. I like using step centers. The only thing I've done thus far is just mark center and punched a little reference mark.
Mark, is that step center in the tailstock a live center?
It is.
Better be.
I just found out this weekend that doesn't work for me. That shows up.
Yeah. We start seeing the smoke
At least
coming
I
out.
didn't turn the light on.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this to a cylinder. And I'm just using a 3/4 inch, or maybe it's an inch, silver weapon guide. Almost. Now what we're going to do is clean up the ends. You can do this with a skew, you can do it with a parting tool, you can do it with a spindle gouge. And I took too big of a cut to begin with. Yep, that's what I did. I'm still learning how to use this tool. So now what I want to do is, being that this hole is 1.5 inches, I now need to turn a tenon on one of these ends so that it'll fit into here. And I got this little measuring device from Rockler, and it's really nice. Goes from 1/4 inch to 5 inches, and you just pick out the size that you want. And I didn't bring my parting tool, so I'm going to use,
Here, want a parking tool?
yeah, this is fine. Seems to be easier at home when I'm doing this. Now I want to make it a little wider. Okay, these are straight, serrated, so I want to make this straight. Yep, that gotta go more.
You have another one. You have two, one, right? Right there, you see?
Something's wrong. Well, apparently my measurements were really off. Either that or I put it the wrong one to begin with, which I think might be the case. So I'm holding this underneath my arm and I'm presenting it level. If I put it like this, it's going to dig in and create a catch. So I want to present it as a scraper horizontally so that it doesn't dig in. Well, getting closer. Okay, it fits. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the chuck back on. So what I want to do now is I want to take this down to a point, and this will be the roof of the birdhouse. I'm gonna round this over, see if I can do that. This puts me too high. Ah, not doing what I wanted to do. So we're modifying the design. We have any tape? I cut the tenon just a smidgen small for this truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some tape and we're going to make this a little wider. Well, it's a little off, but we can work with it. So at this point, what I would do is sand it, which I should have done to the other one, but I didn't. So now what we're going to do is we're going to texture it. What? Yeah, well, we didn't start until 2.
Yeah.
We got about 10 more minutes and we'll be done with this. So at this point, we can do just about anything we want. There's the max. We'll try this one, see what happens. So now we're back to airbrushing. Now I've been using gloves. Look at how my hands are still all messed up. Now we're gonna use black. Put the steam right on. Use some of the extra that we used from that we had from last time. And you can, if you're daring, do this while it's on. Is that the one?
There you go. Nice job.
Yeah, I got guilt all over it. Now, the only thing to do is turn the perch. Now what we want to do is we want to take small piece of timber, and we're going to mount it in these pin jaws. Now what I want to do is I want to rough this out. Yay. So I'm just trying to get it down to a small cylinder so that I can make the perch. Now, always making sure that I'm cutting on the bottom third of the skewer so I don't get a catch. I'm just doing a planing cut, trying to reduce the diameter. Are there some lights we can turn on? Thank you. Yeah, my screw's going dull. I can feel it. What I want to do now is make a down to that point. Now I want to reduce the diameter of this so that it'll fit in that hole that I've pre-drilled. And as I get closer to the edge of this, I want to make sure that I'm cutting with the heel. So when I'm turning the tool, well, we'll see if it fits. Just like that.
Good job, Mark.
think is break time.
Hey, Mark. The guy over here, us, if you can.